Yeah, this is Dave from cheapbooks.com. I'm playing World of Tanks. The tank I am playing is the M41 HMC SPG, which is a Tier 5 American artillery unit, and the map is Himmelsdorf. You'll notice it is the winterized version. So the first thing I'm going to do is check out my range, see how far I can go. And it looks like I can shoot across the map. Which is in the 700 range. Wow, I can hit almost anywhere. That's pretty good. I'm probably going to head for the hill. And one thing about this is I just bought it. And I don't have the proper crew. I just quickly put a crew in just to get a first game out. It's got a 31-second reload time. It's got a great range, at least 760 kilometers or meters. Meters is what it is. And it's slow to turn, so the traverse speed isn't very good. I know that the burst radius is like 3.5 meters, which means that you can drop shells next to tanks and cause them damage. So if they're low on hit points, you can destroy tanks just by putting a shell next to it. I'm also working on a mission, and the mission is to damage 2 tanks with 1 shot. And I'm hoping that this tank will help me do that. Oh, shoot.
Target acquired. The commander is knocked out. We're dead for it.
Well, that's sad. That was my first game. So, it didn't work out very well. I never made it to here. This guy is obviously flanking my team. Einstein of stupidity over there. He's probably going to go up that hill. Oh, it looks like he may have left. Okay, so there's really nothing exciting to show. I guess I could have... No, there was no other SPGs. Okay, so in order to complete my mission, I'm going to show you the mission first, which is Operation Stug 4. I need to cause damage to 2 enemy vehicles with a single shot. And the way to do it is to use an artillery unit that has a gun that has a large burst radius. And as you can see over here, it doesn't tell you the burst radius of the gun. You see it over here with the ammo. It says 1.9. This one says nothing. This one says 2.2. And this one we can't get the information right now. One of the problems is that if you have a tank that has more than 1 gun, it might not use the same ammo. So there's, as far as I know, there's no way to see what the burst radius is on the ammo for the other gun without buying it. So I'm hoping, I know that it should be 3.5, it should be the highest, but I'm hoping that it will. I didn't even check to see if it has more guns. I was very quick into getting a battle. I could have gotten a better radio and a better engine. It only has 1 gun, which means that there's only going to be 2 types of rounds. And you can see that the second premium round is 240 penetration, which is really good. But we got to find out the burst radius for this to help me complete my mission. Okay, so that's the M41 HMC. He's in battle right now. I'm going to look at my barracks, my American barracks. Yeah, I didn't have any crew members. This is weird. I wonder why some of them are in red. I wonder why they do that. It's really weird. What's going on over here? Oh, these guys are in battle. Okay, so if you have any questions or comments, well, it looks like the game, I was just going to say, it looks like they were going to come back into the garage. My mouse froze, which is how I knew that was going to happen. Okay, so I got 58 experience. I hope that wasn't my first 5 times victory. No, it wasn't. So I'm going to get into another game as fast as I can because I want to get that 5 times victory bonus. I'm going to get the best radio. This time I'm going to look at the ammunition. It's possible that some rounds don't have a burst radius. I've heard of such a thing. And I'm guessing that the high explosive round doesn't do it, but this one does. And I am going to get into a game. Now, the other thing that you want to do, I am working on this mission. You'll note that I didn't pay for extra training for my crew. They're the default crew. And it's okay. However, there's a few things you want to be wary of. These vehicles tend not to drive anywhere. They just sit in one place. Therefore, it doesn't matter what the training level of your driver is. You're not going to use him. Second of all, the loading time, sometimes loading is important, but it's rare that you're firing again and again and again and again and again. So you don't really need a high-skilled loader. Some SPGs aim faster than they load, and some load faster than they aim. So you're going to have to choose based on your SPG. But it's going to come down to either the loader or the gunner. You will get improvements, mostly from the gunner, because if you don't have a good gunner, he won't be able to aim, which will mean that your SPG is kind of a waste. And this bush is just way too small for this guy, but that's where he's going to sit. So the point that I'm making is you can get away with a driver who has the 50% skill and maybe a loader with the 50% skill. I can go all the way across the map. That's really cool. And even the commander, but you want to make sure your gunner has 100% or 90% or 80%. Get your gunner as high as possible. What's going to happen is if I take a shot with this tank, like I'm going to aim for this bush right here, we'll find a tank. I'm going to aim for this tank. The chance of my shot missing is really high because my gunner is only at 50%. So normally it will hit almost exactly where I'm aimed for the shot, but let's see where it ends up. Oh, it did. And it hit a tank there. There's a tank in that bush. So that was a good shot. Let's see what happens on the second one. I wonder if that tank is still there. We are going to find out. Nope. But it went where I aimed it, so maybe a gunner at 50% on this tank isn't such a bad idea. As soon as he stops, I'm going to nail him. I hope. I hope so. Obviously, he's going to come after me any moment now.
Target acquired. Critical
I bet he didn't like that. Now I gotta move because their artillery is gonna take shots at me. And I gotta zigzag a little to make it a little bit more unpredictable. I think that's enough. Another thing I learned is to aim for the engine in the back if you can. Oh, he's got nobody in front of him. I gotta get out of here. I don't know if I can shoot from here. So I'm going to go to the next space, which is a lot safer. Oop! He is right behind me.
Permission to engage. We're done for. Everyone get out.
Okay, so having a better crew does make a difference, and I'm sure that within the next day or so I'm gonna make sure that my crew is better prepared. I think you know what happened? I bought another American tank. I bought the Wolverine, and he probably took all of my good crew members that were sitting in the barracks. They're definitely in the Wolverine. This is obviously another SPG unit who has still survived the battle. Let's see if he gets a good shot in. Guess it doesn't matter. Wonder who he was shooting at. Okay, so apparently one of our tanks shot an ally and destroyed him. That was what that last shot was. And I also won a small repair kit. So it looks like I had 3 hits. You can see it's denoted by the blue 1. For some reason he shot an ally. I got 2 penetrations. And I did some spotting damage. Okay, so I got my 5 times victory. I have equipped it the best I can. I could get these tracks if I wanted to, but I'm probably not going to. I'm going to look at my crew and see what I can do about this crew. These are all new guys. So one thing I could do is I could bring them up to 75%. He went up 4%. The other option is I could start with a new commander, pay for that commander, and start a new crew, which I may or may not do. I haven't decided yet. And the reason why is, let's look at all the American tanks. Your crew is based on nationality. They can change between tanks within the same nationality. And you'll see I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 tanks. Let's see the tech tree. You've got in tier 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tier 10 tanks. But I've got 9. So I've got 3 extras. Which means I have extra crew guys. And some of them are going to have to go away. Some of them are going to disappear. So it would be redundant for me to pay to train more crew for this tank, because what's going to happen is I'm going to pull the crew from another tank and bring them down into here at some point. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, definitely that's going to happen. Maybe I'm going to keep the M41 Bulldog, which will be 7. I don't plan on having 2 tanks in the same tech tree. So I'm going to put off training the crew right now until another day. I'll decide tomorrow. I'll be thinking about it. If you have any questions or comments, please post below.